gamers. This is the... I was thinking of streaming on Friday, but I think I'm not going to. Instead, I'll stream 2.5 hours on Saturday. So, for those who don't know, I'm gradually going to start tapering out my my streams now. Because, well, I am kind of still motivated to work on the game more. Well, honestly, actually, now that I've done most of the core content now. So what I need to do, test the races, test texture, wave shot level, and add goodies. Right, collectibles there. Let's see, sound effects for when enemies are damaged and killed, very basic writing to fix everything I broke. I'll do it like this. And let's gradually lower this volume. I love Nier Automata. I need to replay it. I bought a PlayStation 4 just to play this game, and I do not regret it at all. I actually bought it on PC, and it ran so horribly on my PC that I bought it again, and I bought a PlayStation 4 with it. So it's like the most expensive game I've ever gotten. It was pretty good. Maybe I overpaid a little bit for it though. I don't know if like, what would that be, like $500 or something total? Probably too much money for it. Probably don't pay that much money for it. But whatever, I was high on internship money. Because I'm an out-of-touch tech bro, if I haven't made that clear from the last time I talked about money. But, well, as we can, tech is in, as we can clearly see from the meta and the Twitter news, tech is in a great place right now. Probably always will be. Probably have no, there's probably no future where it's like, relegated to like half the wages I'm making right now. Now let's see. What should I do first? I guess I need to do 085? Is this the one that I need, or is this? Oh, I just realized it was 73. I was literally looking at it. Check this out. This is gonna be nuts. Instant art assets, instant placeholder to full art pipeline right here. You're about to see my full methodology. Boom. Whoa, I designed these badly. Why did I design them like this? Like, there's no reason for these to be multiple. Okay. Now, boom. Official art complete. Art pass complete. But let's add some more collectibles up here. Like, there's not a single thing in this thing. This is like actually quite a difficult climb. Do I even have like a zone for this? Like, and I don't have anything up here either. Alright, let's just put, I guess, collectibles around. this is a mean one. And I hear my tea going crazy. I was gonna put something interesting in here, but I won't for now. I'll eventually figure out what I want to do with this little building. I think what I wanted was that you work your way down it, and then you open a door down here. I think what we need, very valuable, coat pickup. I bought these little Italian cookies that I've now forgotten the name of. They look a lot like croissants that were dipped in cinnamon sugar and drizzled with dark chocolate that is now broken off of every piece. They're a lot less crisp than I imagined. They're a lot like, now I don't even know the dessert that I'm thinking of. Oh well. They're okay. I'll think of what they're called. They're like butter somethings. I guess that's not really where I put gem pickups typically. Like, I typically put them in obvious places for the player to, like, be guided in particular directions. And then I put the bugs in harder to reach places. But I guess I've been kind of inconsistent with how I do it. Like, also they canonically prefer darker places and places in the shade, but I put them everywhere. The bugs, I should say, not the gems. The gems should be typically only in places with should put a guy up here to do a race with. I'll just put them just in case. So I think the race would be, I think it'd be pretty cool to go from here up to here, all the way to there. I think that'll be the race. Generic race, coat trade, what did I call it? Race start and race end, I think? Yeah, start, end. Player will start here. And the first checkpoint will be, I guess I'll go easy on the player, because I don't want them to have to look straight up to see where it is, and I don't want to, well, eventually I need to make it so that when the checkpoint is off the screen, there's still a little arrow pointing to which direction you need to turn. But also I'm going to put this first checkpoint here for a bit more like interest in like which of these you can use, because if I put it up here, then it's obvious like which one you have to use, so I'll move this guy as well. Let's see, we need a wave, we need a weapon, wave, shot. Oh wait, no, the checkpoints have to be areas. This way there's at least a little bit more to do here. And then I guess the race end. I still also need a flag design for Jackie's flag and for the races as well. I guess I could draw that today. And then that'll be, will that actually be, oh wait, no, I still need to also like fix up the writing because I changed the tutorial. So now the player is encouraged to not go outside of the city until they've gotten the pistol and like activated the story, because otherwise all the writing gets way too complicated for me. I think they should go up to Sublime. It'll go from Rare to Sublime. Oh wait. And the game is still crashing pretty frequently. also need to put some stuff in Mazlik here. So there's so many loose ends that I have to, I guess, put tourniquets on for now. Or at least wrap them up in a semi-coherent way, or a way where it's obvious that I haven't finished the content and it's not gonna, like, break. You know, like, make the player feel like they've done something wrong, or that the game is broken. It's not broken, it's just not done. Also, I think, as much work as I put into the water material, so this is actually not the water material, it's something different, but, I think I'll just have to, I think I just want to put a collision mesh on the water to block the camera from going into it, because otherwise, I think it has a non-negligible performance impact, like I mentioned before, because it has to read the screen texture multiple times. Well, I guess not that bad. What was I thinking? What was I doing? I actually completely forgot what I was talking about. Also, I think even though it makes the background look janky, I'm gonna have to change the background back from white to something else, because, you know, that makes it fade off into the distance nicely, but it makes the shadows look bad. So I need to, I'll put that in like tech or something. Don't I have it? Yeah, technology. Separate, yeah. Because here we have our sky. So this dictates the lighting and the color of the background. But I want the background to be white in the distance to preserve like the terrain fading out. But I want the actual light color to not be white for the bottom of this. I want it to be, let's see, ground. I want the bottom color to still be like, I think more like this color. Does that even show up here? Let's see if that shows up in game. Maybe not yet. I think it is, because you could, if you remembered, that was like bright orange. But I want it to be that the ground is significantly, you know, I want the top of the, you know, I want the top of surfaces to be brighter than the bottom of surfaces, even if it doesn't quite, you know, even if it's not, I guess, all that, I don't know what I'm saying now. Basically, I want it to look good and not bad, is the sort of summary. Did I even get, I got so distracted that I didn't even get the actual, like, gun that I need. So where do I need to be? I think I need to be in 74. I'm gonna put a light. Oh, excuse me. So it's like, just please get the thing. In fact, I'll even put lights on the outside of this thing. So it's like, hey, valuable item in here. Please get it. Also, I think I'm probably not going to stream Elden Ring anymore, because I just want to play it. And I don't think... You know, it's like, oh, I'm depriving the world of my amazing Elden Ring Let's Play. How will they ever get Elden Ring content now? How will they ever watch somebody who's not particularly good at Elden Ring, but not especially bad at it either, play it? Like, how will they get that fix now? But I figure, if I'm gonna stream stuff, I should probably make it, like, fun content. You know, because I mentioned an idea that I had for streaming critically panned games. I think that would be much better. You know, I should probably put a little tutorial in here so the player doesn't soft lock themselves, or like think they're soft locked, because there's currently no way out of this. So let's do a tutorial prompt. I guess what I should do, what I'm going to prioritize though, is making devlogs, because I think that would be good. Or even just like sort of semi-educational videos that use my game as reference. You know, because like, there's a bunch of stuff I'm happy with, like the movement code I still think is very useful. These buildings are still just straight up floating. Like I didn't... When did I change this? I swear I made these buildings like actually align with the floor slightly. Oh well. At least now the shadows look better. Or the ambient light. And I think what I did, if we go back to this, was an okay compromise, because basically the sky is still quite bright at this level, or at this point. Where am I? Wait, where actually am I? Oh, okay. So yeah, off in the distance, it's still pretty white. Well, I guess from up here, you can then see the gray. So yeah, there you can pretty clearly see it. But that's okay. To sort of break the you know, to break the spell, the illusion of the game once you get to the top. Ah, well. Might be a bit of a disappointing view, though. Yeah, from where the player would typically be, like at this level, I think it's still like white on white. What else should I put in here? Oh, right, I guess... Did I get... Hang on. Oh, it didn't save that I got the pistol. I must have quit out. Wait, no, I didn't. I just didn't get it. I just realized. I got distracted by the lack of indications on it. So yeah, the game just begs the player to not get lost, but it doesn't tell them where to go, though. Well, at least not directly. I actually haven't played the DLC to Nier Automata now that I think about it. I should play that soon. Oh, you can get 60. Oh, that's easy. Okay, I can get that down to like 55 or something. So let's say gold is 120, silver will be 75, gold will be 55, and I'm also going to refill my tea, top it off. Also, a cute thing I thought of today was making it so that I need to fiddle with this volume more. Was letting the player character invite other characters over for tea, since that's kind of her thing with this thing. Because she does have a tea set that's meant for multiple people in her room. So that could be a neat way of, like, if the player wants to really talk with another character, of doing that. But then I'd have to just write a bunch of dialogue and make it interesting. I just realized I hadn't saved. That was a cool coat, too. Oh, well. I might as well just restart now. I forgot to get the... Okay, let's take 2. Or 3 or 4 or whatever. Adding races was a good idea, I think, because... I guess... It's weird, I never really did the races in Jak 3. I guess they never really, like, used the platforming that much. They were more like... trying to find how to get from point A to point B, but it was more like a foot race. Like, it never really felt like a platforming challenge. I'm out of ammo. Hang on. Let's put some ammo back. Or let's see. Random ammo. Okay, so that's there. So yeah, I think this race... This race needs some ammo pickups right along it, I think. So this way, I don't have to backtrack. My tea is too hot. For some reason, lots of people like to bring the water up to boiling for tea, but it's like, I feel like that makes a lot of teas bitter, and also it's like, now you have to wait like 5 minutes for it to cool down. Ooh, that's the strap. Oh well. damn it. Took me a bit there to actually, like, reactivate the gun. Okay, I can get way better than 55 seconds if I'm doing this badly and still manage to get like 54. Well, then again, what if I make it so that when the race is over, so let's see. Process. Let's do inside end or something like that. Fine. So if the player is grounded in at the end, then it ends. Why did I call it on race end? Also, now it's not going to be this because it has to be if, no, at end equals true, because now I need function win. And then in process, if active and at end and player dot is grounded win. Okay, so now the player has to actually be on the ground, because I don't want them, like, connecting to that thing in midair. But, well, I'm kind of divided on this now, because I would like the player to be able to roll jump into it. I guess this means that, well, technically, there's no way for it to remove the at end. So once you've entered into the zone, the frame that you touch the ground, you've then won the race. So like if you jump through it, you'll have a little bit of delay because you would complete it right then when you touch the ground, even if it was like right here. Like if this was the finish line and I jump through, yeah, that would be a sizable delay. So I don't know if the players will find that very fair, but I'm not getting gold this time. Actually, I'm not even gonna... Hang on, let's grind for some ammo. I'm tired of running out on this trip. Maybe I should have put some ammo there. Why am I saying maybe I should have? I can do it. That's a thing that I take issue with in my own development. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, I should do this thing. And it's like, I am the only person here. Like, I am literally the only person who's working on this game. If I don't do it, nobody else is gonna do it. Like, I can't... Like, and I am the sole authority of what goes into and doesn't go into this game. So if I think something should be in it, like, who am I gonna write a letter to? You know what I mean? There's an obvious answer who should, of who should do it. Okay. Now this is a race, or this is music for a race. Alright, well, I flubbed it. Holy crap. I can do 45 here? That's insane. I was playing out of my mind there. Okay, so let's say... So that's like wicked fast. Yeah, I want this to be like unreasonably hard. Connect next point. Unable to connect given method connect next point. Oh, okay. I think there must be something messed up with that. Probably when I was fiddling with the code. Right? Yeah. Oh, crap. Okay, I'm not getting this. I know I said for my when I was mentioning Elden Ring yesterday that I'm kind of not into sort of like orchestral like soundtracks typically. This is definitely an exception though. Why am I only getting... I'm getting like bad rolls on this ammo. It should be prioritizing this ammo. I guess it's maybe there's like some sort of bias. Because it should be biased towards ammo that I don't have. And I think it was, but it's not quite weighted right. Because I still need a little bit more of this. Oh well. 66 rounds should be enough. So I don't even know if I need limited ammo, or yeah, I don't even know if limited ammo is a good mechanic for this game, because like these weapons are so contextual and specifically designed for like, you know, like this type of platforming and stuff, and they're reasonably limited. I guess for the gravity cannon, it's especially important. What was my time there? I didn't see it. Hang on, this song I have to fiddle. I'll leave the audio level there. It's a bit loud, but this song is a bit loud. Okay, so I'm gonna have to like play out of my mind to get that extra 0.466 seconds. Man, I still need to test chunk 121 and 34, which are like unreasonably hard levels. Okay, this is not going to go anywhere. Oh wait, I don't think these regenerate. Hang on. I think I'm seeing what's happening here. If generate on ready. Where is regenerate on death? Connect player died self-generate. Okay. If generated return. Generate force false. So it'll force regenerate. If generated and not force. Because I think what happened is there were a few bad rolls, but because I can't pick up that ammo, it stayed around. So eventually they were all replaced with bad ammo spawns. I guess not even bad ammo spawns, just... You know, because sometimes you do want some pistol ammo, even if you don't need it right now. Oh wait, I do have to pick the old ammo though. Oh wait, whoops. Maybe I'm suspecting though. Another suspicion I have is that some of this error stuff is from the remote debug and like the editor itself, because it has to fiddle with it you know, in a separate thread, like adding things and removing them. So I'm like, could this potentially be causing issues as well? With like these crashes? Oh, oh, oh no. 0.25 seconds, or 0.24 seconds away. Let's see, I'm gonna eat the last of these little cookies. Hmm. Why was that loaded in, but that wasn't? I'm pretty sure that is on the same, like, level as that. Also, I need to bring back the timer. Because I used to have things on a timer when they loaded and unloaded, but now they're instant. I think. I guess I put like a few meters of offset. Maybe? Yeah, there's like an extra like 5 meters that I have to walk. I don't know when I put that in, but that either needs to be like 100 meters, or I need to make it like actually like what it used to be, where it's like, you know, if you're in the zone for 2 seconds, then it pops in, and if you're out of the zone for like 10, it pops out. Oh wait, also, that should have a low-res mesh. Okay, so I think it's that things that are loaded at startup do not have their low-res versions, because like that big building should always be loaded in. Also, if you weren't here last time, I added this beginnings of a telescope item, because I just wanted to look at things that were far away. I also need to make an ammo model for the gravity cannon. I'm getting my inputs eaten. I need to make an input buffer. Yeah, I can't spin kick. Oh, okay. It's because there's a specific time where you can start spin kicking, which is slightly after the peak of your jump. Out of a roll jump. Or a crouch jump, I should say. But it should be queued. I know the way to fix this. An awful way, but it will be fun. Var buffer. Let's say like 0.5. Well, no, let's do... It should be pretty limited because this is like... I know what I'll do instead. I'll have it be the number of frames since it was pressed. So it'll be like maybe like 3 frames? No, actually. Const put buffer frames. No, what do I want here? I'll do 3/100ths of a second of input buffer. So that's like 1 frame of 30 FPS. And I think in this game it's like close to 5 frames because it internally runs at 144 FPS. Combat lunge. So currently the only inputs that'll be buffered are jump, combat lunge, combat spin, and then input event. Why do I have that? If so if event dot is so I want to get an action that's pressed. I guess I know what to do. For e in input buffer dot keys if e is or if event is action pressed e input buffer e equals 0.0, and for each frame in physics process for c in or e in buffer dot values buffer plus equals e, and then for pressed if action in input buffer return input buffer action is less than input epsilon, else also may need to clear... Actually, let's do res. I don't want like double inputs, so what I'll do is also turn res input buffer action so the second it's checked, well, yeah, that's fine. Because either way, if you've pressed the button and it checks it, it'll return true if it's in the epsilon, and then it'll clear it. So that way it's not returned true again if that messes up the state for some reason. And also, if it checks it and it fails, it'll clear it anyway, which is exactly the same as it was, because there's no distinction between any time that's less than the input epsilon and any time that's greater than it. So it might as well be infinite at this point. But this way, there's a 20th of a second, or a 300ths of a second, where I can press an input before it's ready, I think. Oh, input buffer E plus equals delta. So that way the input buffer oh, whoops. Eventually I'll get this. So this should hopefully not screw things up, but it should make things feel a little bit better, maybe? Actually, let's try with a really big input buffer first. So like 0.1 seconds or something crazy. Also, I'm going to put this up here. Or 2 even. So what this should do is, like, for example, in that dive, and now you can hear I pressed the spin button at like very early in the jump, but it's like 0.2 seconds afterward that it applies. I actually kind of like having a massive buffer like this. It does make this quite a bit easier. See, this song is a bit too dramatic for what I'm doing right now. I'm gonna move it, I think I kind of like it being this big. I'm gonna move it down to 0.1 though. That's kind of weird though. I don't know what that is. Hang on, is there no clear transition from fall? So let's do state.fall. No, that should go there pretty quickly. I think it must be the animator then. So this is my favorite part. So I need to go from fall to crouch. So here's fall. Does it go smoothly to crouch? It does not. Okay, well that's the answer. This is why I need like literally every single like I just need a table. I need a big table. I don't need this funny little like cute little like dialogue or visual representation. I need a table of each intersection with each other intersection, because all of them, like basically everything here, can transition into almost everything else. But I need like different timings for it, and I need sometimes like special animations going from one to the other, like base jump to ledge grab to ledge hang to base jump again. But most of the time, if I want to transition to something, I just need to transition to it. I was actually starting on a new interface for the animation tree editor, but I don't know, it's not worth it for this project at least. Yeah, that feels way better, because I saw just then the spin came out a bit late, where it previously wouldn't have come out at all because I was still in the jump state. No, fuck. This is the real game. I do actually really enjoy these races. I may want to make like custom music for them as well. I still need to fix some of the internal logic of those. I'm getting too crazy now. Ah, okay. Why can I not spin kick out of a wall jump? What is that? That's horrible. Why can't I hang on. I know what it is. Wall cling, can, air spin, true. That's not being reset, because basically it doesn't consider the wall spin, or it considers the wall spin to only reset when you're on the ground. but I want it to reset when you also cling to a wall. Which may slightly make the movement a little bit more generous than it was before, but it's my game. I'm sure there's plenty of other places where the game isn't generous. Like the time on this gold. Oh, I can do 42. I can do 42 now. Okay, so that's the new gold time. Is going to be 42 seconds. And it's not even a funny reference. It's just the fastest I can possibly go. And also, then, silver should be like 60. So bronze is very generous because it's basically just, you know, can you get from one end to the other in a in a timely manner, basically. Where silver is like, okay, now you're like putting your foot on the gas a little bit. You're actually like going for it. And then gold is, you have effectively, you know, you've mastered what I couldn't. Well, you've done what I could, but it took me a little while. Oh wait, these guys, hang on. I forgot, these guys are supposed to have no dialogue trigger. Basically, they have no, or they have custom dialogue, which means that they used to just make a circle, but it's only for coats. So the player needs to press a button instead of just walking up to them. Which I want more. I still need to think of ways of making Jackie more actively participate in things, because I don't want her to like do the open world game thing of like you just kind of stumble into the game or like into the plot. I want it to be that she is like making decisions on why she's getting involved in other people's business. Instead of like, you know, two characters have an argument, and then they see you and they're like, hey, you look like the main character of the video game. How about you resolve our conflict for no reason? Also, these projectiles really do damage performance, I think. Oh, right, this is an interesting part because the player has to hold up, like, I don't know, that's funny. And it's like all screwed up. Also, the player could get their first taste of air combat here. Which I've been thinking would be kind of cool to make it like a thing, where some enemies are just floating in the air, out of your reach, unless you do, like... Wait, where do you... Oh, there it is. I should make combat arenas, actually. Like combat arenas where only certain actions, like, how do I say this? Or where you're only allowed certain weapons and certain upgrades. Like, make something where there's a bunch of enemies that are far out away from your reach, and you only have this gun. Oh, interesting. A wall bonk. Okay, so a bonk fall can go into a spin kick, but then you can't do a wall kick, or a wall cling after that. Oh, I'm up here. I think the player needs more air mobility. I think I'm going to add a grappling hook that grapples you towards the nearest enemy, even if they're in the air. I think that'd be pretty cool. Well, I guess I shouldn't add it now, but I'd like to add it at some point. Maybe I'll save it for the sequel. I should really start thinking of, like, what is needed to make this done? Like, what is the minimum that's needed to make this a done game? So I think fixing the crashes, making the story work with what exists, and then I guess just adding, like, the minimum amount of content to make it feel worthwhile for this environment, which I don't really know what the minimum content is. And also just, I guess, just performance fixes, visual fixes, reliability fixes. Because I guess the most important thing, honestly, is fixing that crash. Because it's like, it's semi-frequent, or it's frequent enough that it's like a serious issue, like it pisses me off. And not just as a developer, but as a player of the game. Like, I don't know, there's few things more annoying than, like, well, one, terrible frame rates with no understanding of why. Like, there are games that you can spawn like 1,000,000 guys, and it's just like, it runs fine. So it's like, there's literally no excuse for the game to run as poorly as it does sometimes. Especially on this hardware, and especially with these graphics. And there's no excuse for it to crash randomly. Because it's like, yeah, making games is hard. I've been thinking about this as well for my... I think I will actually start a series of streams about playing bad games. But I've been thinking about, like, yeah, making games is hard, and, like, that should be acknowledged. But making good games is just as hard as making bad games, and they still make the games good. Like it's not really the player's problem that it's hard for me to figure out where the crash is. The player's problem is that the game crashes. So if I wanted to actually sell this game for money, I should probably figure out the customer's problem first. What was I doing there? I guess I did everything there. I have some fun little goodies. Let's see, very basic writing to fix everything I broke. Oh, mom and mum. Wait, hang on. I need to fix this once and for all. A moment. Huh? Wait, do I have, like, case sensitivity on? What is this? How did I get these? So, mum, it's really her. Okay, so this is a task note. But where's the word mom written? Why do all of these have the word mom in them? Hang on, can I exclude blend files? It's because the node is named mom. Okay, so let's get out of here, because I'm going to start a new game anyway. If I go to 124, the node for the medium needs to be named mom. Because otherwise it gets her name as mom. Okay, now let's do a new game. So I need to texture this teapot. Let's get some like intro notes. Oh yeah, also this thing is like all screwed up, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Texture the wardrobe. It's had it too good for too long. I made this very early in development and just left it white and gray. But it's gonna finally get textures. Let's see. Make arrows consistent with other UI arrows. I'd like if, oh yeah, I should get a new map texture. So it'd be an image of the world with everything plus, or through like a simple filter. So that way it at least like, it looks kind of nice. Because this has been like this image is like months old. This hasn't been perfectly flat like this for a very long time. I guess also fix the seams in the world. Add icons. And the journal sketches are going to be about this level. Wait, hang on. Didn't I fix that at some point? Oh wait, I know why. Player, game, or input. If not get tree is paused. It will not get this, so it won't buffer these actions unless the player, I guess it will buffer them anyway. Okay, but that's fine. Maybe a little bit more in this basement, maybe, oh wait. I'm getting the same bug here with like, I think very low frame rates if I stand on this in a particular way. Like there's particular faces of this object, I think, that like murder my frame rate. Couch collisions. Anything else that kills the performance? So I know that this chair used to kill performance. This table kinda does. Okay, so it's like very small faces, I think. like here you can see the frame rate goes to shit when I'm interacting with those two. So let's simplify that table. I know. Simplify collisions for perf by small faces. Sofa. T table. Probably others. But okay, that's good to know. The housing satisfactory. That gives landlord, that gives Armstrong. I think what I might do is just have a generic UI icons for places on map, journal sketches, so some will be generic. Because I don't care about the landlord having like a unique image. So this guy, honestly, Armstrong needs a better headset. New, like completely. Okay, now we're actually going to get into the important things. So we have our important thing of Coates Girl with blah blah blah. Oh yeah, I also need to eventually add the 3 jackets. So let's add that. Three coats at a time. So basically the player should... Currently the player only holds 1 coat, but they can swap with characters. So that means that they're sort of conflicted as to like, do they wear a coat that they like, or do they wear a coat that they aren't afraid to lose if they find a better coat out in the wild? And they have to go to a wardrobe, which who knows where they are out in the world. But I want a system so that the player can go to a wardrobe and get 3 coats, and they can carry those coats on them at any time. And then that way they can plan a bit more of like, oh, I'm going to wear this coat, and I'm going to swap to this coat that I don't like anytime that I swap with NPCs. And then like you have like a sacrificial coat, or like 2 coats at any time that you can use for anything other than aesthetics. But okay, no. So this is now. Let's go through the dialogue. So this is, we're not doing tutorials, we're not doing this. Cleared a section in front of the gate. So none of this is necessary anymore, because the player doesn't use any of this. Oh man, there's like a million things that the player doesn't need. So much writing gone. Okay, so if the medium is not activated. So this is if the task doesn't exist. So we need hang on. Because I want this subtopic still. So yeah, this way the player can optionally get a little bit of like lore if they want. Otherwise, actually, let's see, how goes your search, Coates Girl? Okay, let's do... There's a capacitor in the cave, otherwise... Otherwise, if the player has a capacitor anyway... And then I don't care about these things anymore. Oh wait, I guess... So yeah, this capacitor is not even going to exist anymore. This capacitor at chunk 124. Because there's no like lore reason for this to exist. Let's just put a coat there instead. That's not what I need. This is what I need. Look at that. Beautiful. And it'll go up to... no, it won't go up to rare. And this won't be persistent, so the player can just climb up here as often as they want. This guy doesn't respawn, and this guy does respawn. So that excises that chunk of lore. See, I need this. So what do I do? I need this to be somewhere else. Let's put this in like a temporary buffer. Because I want this to be somewhere, because this is still useful information for the player. Otherwise, I have no idea where to look. Wait, what does this mean? Huh? And I guess if the player really wants to screw over the town, they can still do the tower tutorial without doing this. But this means all the tower stuff is screwed up as well. Because that was meant to be like the tutorial for like resetting the game and stuff. But now there's only one place where the capacitors actually matter, and it's not even in the game yet. Or one other place where more than one capacitor is going to be anything. Okay, so this doesn't exist if this is there. If the player has entered this cave, I've been in the cave but I didn't find anything, make sure to be thorough. Otherwise, why is this should not be like that. And there's not really anything interesting here if the player, well, hang on, none of these aren't even really like dialogue options. Hang on. Because there's only one available at a time. So you did it, the door's open. Okay, let's review. So he asks how that goes. If the player has gotten this capacitor and they have not told him yet, you just tell him automatically. You remove this place. So then you can ask a little bit. Let's say she would say something like this, like, Maybe not. I want him to warn about the caves, I think. Nah, I don't care. And artifacts is the British spelling. I'm pretty sure of artifacts. Yes. So yeah, if you got the capacitor from the cave, if you got it from here, actually let's do I guess I should do all of this. So let's do like right here. Actually, I want this still. Because the player has the option of skipping this stuff, and then we can just do... So yeah, let's do go to as I suspected, go to capacitor get. So hopefully the player does not find a use for the capacitors that I haven't anticipated, because otherwise the game will be in a bad state where it thinks the player has a capacitor here, but then they don't. Okay, and then you exit, and then potentially you can get this capacitor get. And so this means that it is effectively impossible to get this dialogue without going through all this stuff. But okay. Now the medium is open. I think all of this is good. So if not, global.stat talked info. Otherwise, okay, so for now she'll do that. Okay, and this is where, because I remember yesterday, I was interested in the fact that she's the one who initiates the conversation instead of him. Okay, so that's where I did that. I don't remember doing that on purpose. I think that was just a happenstance thing. Or like I deleted some lines and then didn't figure it out. Alright, so let's say all that's good. That's when the capacitor blows up. I also need to eventually add the tutorials for other weapons. Oh, and also I have a list of bad games that I'm interested in playing, including most Sonic games, because most of them are bad. Hot take. I know that's a, very controversial opinion that many Sonic games are not very good. Alright, let's not even bother with that until I've gotten, because now I can actually get into real dialogue. Oh, cool. That works. Also, Jackie would not ask a question with an exclamation point. She's not that kind of girl. Oh. I forgot that I had so many dialogue things, so why would... Wait, and why is this... How, why was that other thing there? Was that from here? What was that? I did not check that dialogue. Oh, okay. I put this in the wrong place, I think. I'll use the old dialogue. I like that better. Okay, so that should hopefully the player can figure out where the cave is from here. You know, they might go this way, but hopefully if they like look around, they'll be like, you know, they'll suspect that this is a cave. Also, I'm having, let's see. Yeah, there's a weird frame of stuff there. Let's fix that. So that'll be, I think they go into the falling state after dialogue now, for some reason. Also, when the player first picks up something, I should have it so that there's a, I'll do that. Inventory, no, item, what am I looking for? Visible items. Startup. So if and not tutorial, let's do tutorial slash items. Show font. Show inventory. So now, if I pick up another object, and hopefully this won't fiddle too much with the existing tutorial prompt, so LT plus gamepad 8, show inventory. Alright, so I need some more gamepad buttons. Let's do finish up gamepad prompts. I'm pretty sure start is missing. Well, no, I think that's the only one that I need. Oh, no, and also mouse buttons. I know those don't work right. I miss not having a pistol. Oh wait, hang on. Oh wait. Weird. Why is that there? I think that must be... I must have been testing something. Maybe? What is this? ammo if oh, it was because, okay, it was because the pause menu was hidden. Okay, now if the player doesn't have a weapon, it doesn't show the ammo thing. Also, the little plus objects aren't fading away properly. So it's inventory. Oh, okay. Yikes, how do I do this? Oh wait, no. On item changed. If it's invisible items, if added dot a is less than 0. Okay, so now there we go. Because the grid layout depends on the visible objects. So if I set that to be invisible, then it'll shift everything around in that grid layout. So hopefully the player notices that there's a little something back here. The game crashed. Okay, cool. I'm glad to see that the game is bad. It's like it's happening so much more frequently than it used to as well. And I can't help. Well, I don't know what it is though. Oh, okay. 3 capacitors still sit there. I need to find a capacitor to activate the medium. Oh, okay. I just have this duplicated there. Alright, so I have the quest. Wow, that buffer like makes this high jump dramatically easier. It feels like an actual like good game mechanic now. And also, I kind of like, I was worried about, because I've had ideas for like netcode or like, oh my fucking god, in the same spot. Exited to the ledge, deactivated. So it's like, so it's not queuing up anything to be freed. Let's try this again, I guess. So chunk 113, there's things that are going nomadic. Horrible game. So is it just being in that area? Because, okay, but this is actually like, this is very interesting though, because this gives me a place to consistently reproduce the crash if it is consistent. But also, why would it be here? And what if I completely remove everything in the game except for, or what if I just start narrowing down the chunks that it could be? So I get this capacitor. There's some like frame rate drop here. Yeah. Hang on, I'm going to be back in a minute. Also, now that I think about it, move crouch should be in the buffered inputs as well, because I've wanted to roll in multiple points and then get mad that I can't. So that should be in the... Where's my inputs? Oh, right here. So that way when the frame rate gets really bad and I want to roll, it doesn't eat my input. Oh, I can have trailing commas. I'll do that. Trailing commas are good practice. Especially if you're inconsistent about it like I am. But yeah, as I was mentioning, let's see. How should I start narrowing down this? Oh, that was scary. I don't know how I'm going to narrow down this bug, but what I can do is talk about what I was going to talk about with the input buffering. I've heard that in the Quake engine, or idtech at least, it does a list of time-stamped inputs. Like it runs a separate thread at like a really high frame rate, like 250 frames, or just 250 hertz, I guess, because it's not rendering anything. But it samples your frame rate and then it puts it in a list, or it samples your inputs and puts it in a list of like time-stamped buffers, or yeah, time-stamped inputs, so that way it can keep track of when you've pressed something. But in the simpler case, you could just have what I have, which is just a dictionary of, you know, an input with the last time it was pressed, or the time since it was pressed. And that would get you most of the benefit of that. You wouldn't get like analog stick stuff, and you wouldn't get sequences of inputs, like very precisely. But if your main goal is to just know that a button was pressed recently, that would work reasonably well. So I think the only place where that wouldn't work is like fighting games or something where there's like extremely precise combos of buttons, because it doesn't tell you, you know, like if a button was pressed multiple times, for example. Let's see, I'm gonna skip this song again. It's a bit too dramatic. Oh, right, Okay, so what exactly is the bug here? Does it happen if I'm looking in a different direction? That's my wonder, because oh wait, I'm not. So let's go back there. Let's not interact with the capacitor, so that way I can remove that from my suspicions. And then what I can do is I can completely disable loading chunks. Like, just don't load any of them, and see how that works. Hopefully the player knows that when I say L plus A to wall jump, that they have to be at the wall to do it. Because I'm also worried that maybe they'll think that they have to do something else. So let's see. Do I have... Alright, let's just kill these guys before they kill me. Does it happen if I run this way? Does it happen if I don't get the capacity? So there the frame rate went down. I don't see anything that's particularly exciting there. Except, well, the chunks going nomad is still like a temporary thing. But okay, so the frame rate is bad now. And the lights suddenly stopped. The frame rate is good now. It's queuing chunk 111 to free. Is that the issue? There's definitely like a major performance hit from that chunk. Hang on. What is chunk 111? So this little thing, this little thing. There's nothing like particularly impressive with this chunk. Like maybe these, maybe it's all the NPCs here, all the enemies. But okay, for some reason, also, it's not crashing anymore. But this light, these lights are going out. Which, I guess, kind of makes sense. Because there's just a bunch of things here. Also, it should sort them by nearest, at least, in my opinion. It seems like it's sorting them by, like, some other arbitrary metric. But for some reason now I'm not getting the crash. Alright, let's save and quit, maybe? And see if I get it by just running into here without getting the capacitor. I can always undo the changes. Well, I can always just start a new game. I haven't done anything. Alright, I forgot I'm gonna add races to the, or add the optional content where you race through the areas where you got your weapons first, so that way I have a bit more content with them. Okay, so here, this chunk loads. It causes the performance to take a dump. Then if I go here, weird. And now it's just working fine. I mean, honestly, it's kind of not. Like, I don't know what its problem is. So what I'm gonna do, let's just commit all this. What if I just removed every enemy? And Riley. I won't even try to, like, binary search. I'll just, like, cut everything. So maybe these guys are the performance issue. Let's see. Because I do think there's something wrong with how the enemies are designed right now, or implemented. I tried fixing it by going to rigid bodies, which honestly, I don't think that helps dramatically. I feel like that just hid the consequences of their existence in the physics frames instead of the scripting. Because I don't know. The bullet engine just doesn't seem to be, or whatever it is, bullet 3D or whatever thing it's using. It's not very efficient. And if you look at the code, it's like callbacks within callbacks within callbacks for like every single interaction. So it's like, I don't know, it feels like it's kind of obvious why it's not. I remember watching a talk from the Titanfall guys on how insanely optimized their physics, like their collision checking is. Like they do it in all in SimD and like pack it in particular bits and like count the individual cycles for every collision check and like do crazy broad phase like, you know, stuff. And it's like, so that definitely improves the frame rate, but there's like a noticeable stutter when that one loads in. I don't know why that one specifically causes such a stutter though. Like, let's go to 113. Oh wait, how do I get out of here? I should put like probably a thing here to make it easier to get out. Woof. What was that? Okay, that was 113. So 113 is also... Oh. What if I can load chunk 113, the exact frame? Actually, no, it doesn't seem like I can load 113 when 111 goes out of frame. Okay, so why... How could I get that crash 3 times in a row and then not get that crash like 15 times in a row? But okay, and the and the enemies, they definitely did, I think, impact it significantly, or impact the frame rate, but they didn't, like, it still stutters very badly. So what I'm gonna do, yeah, let's get all these back. Let's go to world, let's go to chunk loader. Wait, does this thing even need... Oh, wait. Does the world use this stuff? I don't think it uses any of this anymore. Yeah, none of that was used. Like, is this used? I think chunks is used. I don't think that's used. Alright, so first bug is that things that are supposed to be loaded close aren't close. Actually, let's make it so that... There we go. basically I'll wait a little bit so that we call deferred and then we load this stuff and then we post this, which might fix that issue. Well, it might fix some sequencing issue, but I don't think there's anything in here that like checks if a chunk is loaded. It just checks if the low-res file exists, and if it does, it then, you know, adds it. Oh, hang on. If not is active, hang on. Content is active name. I think. Or maybe it's set loaded. No.name equals low res. Oh, okay, and I actually add it right here. Okay, so that was the bug. Though now, yes, that freaks out. Okay, so that should mean that things in the distance should be loaded. Why is it not loaded? Like, there should still be a visible mesh there. What is this? Actually, hang on. I know exactly what's causing this issue. Like, this should not be here. It should just be here, I think. Or like this. And then it should do chunk. Oh, wait. Wait, what? I don't think any of this was needed. Like, none of that dictionary stuff was necessary. There's so many things wrong here. Okay, first off, we are getting 113 low res. So let's add low res here. Oh, wait, hang on. I know exactly what's causing the issue. Low res node. Actually, I guess low res name L. Let's do that instead. Is this add low res called anywhere else? Okay, so that's not called anywhere else. Hang on, there's a bunch of stuff here that I don't actually need. I'm gonna try to figure this out. I only need that. Because I'm getting confused because the loaded chunks, or like the active chunks that have scripts and stuff in them, they're scenes in that dictionary because, or they're packed scenes, because I need to reinstantiate them to get them to be ready again. And like reset their state. But the inactive chunks, the low res chunks, I just want them to be nodes because they can be added and removed whenever I want them. And as you can see, that doesn't work. What is the errors here? pchild is null. Well, it shouldn't be. So do I have to do this instead? Why is that chunk not visible? That tower has a low-res version. I'm almost 100% certain it does. Yeah, it's here. okay. It's because it was invisible. Maybe. Okay, so that solves that. I don't think that would, like, reduce any performance impact. What the fuck? Oh, I need to request ready on these chunks, actually. So queue unfree? No, queue unload. If not, chunk.hasNode. Get content. Text.lock equals get chunk. I know. No, that's not doing anything for me, actually. Let's just add child there because, well, no. If C. Print. So add low res, I know that works. I know that exists. And I know it works once. It works once, a single time. So queue load maybe is busting it and breaking it or something. Because we have that. And it's beautiful. And then it loads in, so there's a little frame dip. So we can see here 113 is ready. And then we unload, and then it disappears. Chunk 113 is low res. What I should do actually is hide this instead. And this way, just in case, that can work. C, let's do C.quest ready. Maybe it's not, maybe it's null inside that thing. Set loaded. So this just adds the dictionary to it. Oh, okay, hang on. That can be anything. So for some reason calling a deferred object with the wrong argument Okay, so that dictionary was null. So now, when I unload, and it should be perfectly seamless like it is. Yeah, look at that. Now it's completely perfect and beautiful. It does still cause a kind of nasty hitch when it loads, though. So it's queued to free. It's not, I guess it's not terrible. Yeah, I'm happy with how seamless that is as well. Like, there's absolutely no difference between the low-res version of the tower and the regular one, even though they're actually, like, completely different objects. Oh wait, I actually have to check the frame rate of that tower still, though. Let's see. I should get like a profiler set up on Windows. Because I want to figure out what exactly, like where exactly most of this performance is, but I'm worried that it's going to be mostly, well, the last time I tried it, it was mostly just like thread weighting. So I'm pretty sure it's just like bad utilization, like it already has a bunch of locks and it's like not efficiently using them. Which is going to be bad because I'm pretty sure that crash is going to require me to lock every instance of deleting signals and like just globally lock something or have a global mutex for it, and that'd be horrible. Like it'll be awful for performance. Because then every object deletion has to be done in sequence. But for some reason the crash hasn't occurred again. Oh wait, no, I should test it again. Now that I put all the enemies back. So that loaded. Yes, okay. It did crash again. So it's only... So 113 was freed. Oh, wait, what? Why was it when 113... Wait, what happened? Okay, let's get up Visual Studio. It feels like it has to be that I go to a very specific position and then I move. Oh, what the fuck? It's getting worse. project attach to, no, debug. Hopefully my process list isn't like a compromising information. Also, I like how they put things with no title first alphabetically. I think that's pretty useful. Okay, so let's see if I can get this again, because I really, really do want to just dig into what is happening with these. Though it does seem like the behaviors of external processes affects things, because maybe it's like thread contention or whatever, making things run on fewer or more threads, or on cores or different times or whatever. Okay, so I got the hitch, so that should be from loading chunk 111, I'm pretty sure. And then if I go this way, it didn't happen. Now it just seems like it's not happening. Like I don't even see the hitch anymore. Okay, let's try again. Let's see, debug, reattach to process. I know, I need anti-aliasing as one of my options in the graphics. Okay, I felt the hitch. And then nothing. Like, not even a small amount of, like, stutter. I just don't get it. Maybe I have to load in chunk 113 and then walk away, and then load 111 and walk away from it. I straight up just need to pay someone like $1,000 to figure out what this bug is. Probably even more, because I would probably need to contract them out for like 2 weeks. And at a typical developer's salary, that's like 10,000. Well, no, not for 2 weeks. That'd be ridiculous to have to charge $10,000. But it'd be like probably like 5 or 6 for a contractor. I mean, hopefully it would be less time, but they'd probably have to do a lot of work to figure out what exactly it is. Okay, this runs a failure. It's dependent on the configuration. Oh wait, I don't need that. That was pressing F5 in Visual Studio. can reattach. But it's like, I can't trigger the... If the incident doesn't happen the first time, or the crash doesn't happen the very instant that I expect it, it just doesn't happen that run. And I don't know... Well, I guess it must be something to do with layout and, like, what threads are assigned where. Because there are, like... Godot has a bunch of threads. You know, at least more than the number of cores, I'm pretty sure. So there's potential that maybe it's something to do with, like, how the cores are allotted. So, like, maybe some threads are given the same core, and so clearly they're just going to execute in sequence and it's all going to be fine. And then if they're parallel... Okay. We have a crash. Okay, it's just exactly where it was before. I don't think I'm going to learn anything new from this. Let's copy this whole thing. How can I copy all this? So it's from freeing a GD script instance again. And it's from deleting an input event mouse button. See, and it's the queue there, which is... Okay, so it's again, it's a list. It's specifically a list, and it's specifically a connection. Yeah, there's something wrong with signals. But why is it specifically input event mouse buttons? Like, it's always specifically mouse buttons. What are they attached to? How many signals do they have? Hang on, let's go back up this call stack. Maybe I can figure out what it was before... Well, no. It's been nulled out now. Because it's while it's being freed. And I'm pretty sure null here. I'm pretty sure that's the issue. Like if we go to the disassembly. DEC, D-word pointer. What is DEC? What is that? So is it just, so it's decrementing? Decrementing a data word pointer. Okay, so I think it's because it's accessing this pointer. So this must be null here. And that would mean that this pointer is here. Mem delete allocator P class. And that's when we're deleting in the list of items. Erase for slot count. So this is because it's deleting the connection from the target of the connection. So it's going through the connections of the other object and deleting them. So this is where it's happened again. I guess my question is, are things being deleted in other threads? What if I just add, like, what if I just did, like, And then I can have a mutex on this object. So let's just close this out. So if I do well, let's remove that for now. How do I do this? How do I make this not screwed up? Oh, whoops. Godot, crash, object, connections, erase. That's not quite right. On running the project. Has any of this ever been seen before? Let's look for default allocator free. Crash in editor if tool uses packed scene.instance from a thread. I don't think this is quite what I need. Well, it's deleting comparators. Crash when connecting or disconnecting a signal from multiple threads. Nice, it's been open for nearly 3 years. Wait, but then where am I connecting from multiple threads? I don't think my thread loader is doing anything anymore, so it's like complete loading. Let's do like load thread dot wait to finish. Am I connecting anything else? I'm not doing anything connected, but maybe it's like the instances? Because sometimes I do them inside. Well, no, now I don't do them there. I always do them from the main thread because I call deferred. Okay, so this isn't even what I'm getting. Oh, okay, so should crash or enter an infinite loop on the main thread. When the project freezes, it should spam errors looking like this. It doesn't. I'm crashing it. A wide array of backtraces. Some of them are related to malc or free. So is it connecting objects from multiple threads just on its own? Was this, maybe this issue was never, like, considered? Okay, so that's the same thing. Wait, does Q free not do this? Okay, so what the fuck? Why is an input event mouse button in here? Like, why is this being freed? I don't instance input events from separate scenes, or like in separate scenes, but this feels like clearly something is being queue freed. I don't know what it is. I mean, I guess I could go further up the tree. Maybe I can go all the way up to here and figure out what it is. Because maybe it's not corrupt there. Okay, let's go back. Let's put this back over here. Let's see if I can trigger this bug again. It is very cool that Godot has chosen to delete things from multiple threads. It's seemingly on its own, honestly. I mean, I guess I can search my code again for like any instances of other threads, but I don't do anything else with threads. I mean, literally all I do now is at the very beginning of the game, I load everything from in a separate thread to minimize the loading screens. Actually, hang on. What if I just load everything here? And like I don't even like do this. Oh wait, no. Yeah, let's do that. So, what if there's no... So this will mean that I have massively long loading times at the start of the game. But, because I'm not doing anything else right now, it should be... Okay, that's actually not bad. Why is it better than it was before? It used to take like 20 seconds or something. Maybe it's because I'm calling deferred? I mean, I might just do that if the game doesn't cause any significant issues now. What was that? Okay, so it's not my threading code. I'm just gonna remove this for now. Let's also remove all the mutexes since I'm not using any sort of thing. Say I don't need this. Well, I guess I'll keep the semaphore because, well, I don't know why I would keep that now. I guess that's fine. Maybe it won't deadlock. I think it did deadlock. Or something like that. Wait. Yeah, let's do this. Let's reattach. I'm gonna get this thing once and for all. It might also be asynchronous shaders. And it might be the... Actually, hang on. I just realized. Rendering. The game isn't thread safe. And it's a bunch of rendering stuff. Also, the game crashed on save. Whatever, I guess. Crashed when the whole thing was going away, so I guess it's technically, you know, and it crashes with no stack trace or error code, so I guess it's, you know, I guess it's the same thing as closing. And I'm pretty sure these crashes only started, you know, when I put the rendering to multi-threaded. So let's debug. Let's attach the process. It's really nice that I have a convenient spot to crash the game, but... Okay. So I guess I'm back basically to square one. Well, actually... No, I think I do need to do this. Oh well, it's fine. I think deferring adding everything for a frame actually does help. I don't know why that significantly improves the startup times. But I don't know, I guess it's fine then. I guess maybe it's just perceived, like, because then it would like reduce the amount of time that you're in the loading screen, and then it would like pop. Well, maybe it's just because I deleted baked lighting. Maybe that's why it's so much faster, because the baked lighting took multiple seconds. Yeah, I'm like 100% certain it was the multi-threaded whatever it is, the rendering, because like it would free things in a separate thread, and it would also free either objects that had the same or I guess it could just be any object, as long as they had signals that were mapped to each other. Like, as long as one of them had a signal in the other that could corrupt its connections. Actually, hang on. It could be... Okay. Let's say we have two objects. So we have this object. Actually, let's say we have three objects. So these three have signals that are connected to this object. And then let's say both of these objects are freed. So like this one is freed in one thread, this one is freed in the other. They both have to interact with the same map. So like this one like blows up the map, and this one tries to do other things, and then it suddenly is like, and then the game crashes because the map is corrupt. So essentially, I'm pretty sure the bug is Godot should not call free in the physics server. Like, why is it freeing things in the physics server? It should just queue them for free or something like that. I'll write that down as my technology thing, because I think... Well, I guess I should do more work. So let's do like... my classic of teleporting everywhere and hoping that it crashes. Or I guess hoping that it doesn't crash. Ironically, I'm always hesitant to do this because, you know, I don't want the game. I want my fix to work, so I don't want to test it to prove that it doesn't work, because that's literally what's always happened for like the past like 35 different attempts that I've tried on this. But whatever. I don't know how it could possibly... I mean, I guess if I just minimize loading times by just not having enough stuff to take a long time to load, I guess that's fine. Oh, interesting. I just realized that you can actually walk up to here. I hadn't even thought about this. So if the player gets to the top of this tower, they can then get to the top of at least a couple branches, I guess. Eventually I want to make a bunch of stuff up here, like a little city that's like hanging in the branches. Just another thing that may or may not actually get implemented by the time the game is done. Alright, let's go. Man, I hit that terribly. Just an absolutely like anticlimactic hit on that like ramp. It's like someone lands with a skateboard completely flat on the ground and has 0 movement speed. Okay, well I guess I can assume that this crash is effectively fixed by not having any multi-threading in the game whatsoever. Well, I guess there's still probably multi-threading somewhere. Though the game, it does seem like the engine is just fundamentally single-threaded. But alright, let's do it one more time. So if I crash in that cave again, I will officially kill myself live on stream. And then that'll be the end of the game development, I think. Also, speaking of jumping out the window, my balcony, I realized, the door is all messed up, so it has like a nasty draft, which is going to be uncomfortable in the cold. I don't know why I hadn't noticed it earlier. Also, I can notice the frame rate going down. Well, whatever. It's better when I'm not streaming, though getting Ethernet did significantly improve the performance of the streams, which is good. Alright, let's just keep trying, I guess. Keep trying until it crashes or doesn't crash. That's the worst part about this. I can't, like, test fixes immediately, so there's always, like, a false hope, because it's like... It might only crash, like, once out of every 15 attempts. And you know how... You can probably anticipate how incredibly excited I'll be about the major crash in the game being fixed finally. Let's see. I don't know, it's very finicky. I'll try it like, I don't know, 3 more times maybe? Honestly, I would like this to be the last game I make in Godot. I'm thinking of like very simple ideas that I can do for my next game so that I can just make it in like Vulkan or OpenGL. I mean, there's one that I have that's not simple, but also all of the complexity is almost like, it's not things that would be in an engine anyway. Like, because basically I was imagining a game with completely bespoke, like, movement physics, where the character can, like, or where it, like, analyzes the mesh, like, the actual collision geometry, and, like, figures out super detailed things, like, you can grab this particular, you know, like, you can grab this ledge, and you can, like, crawl under this, and you can, like, prone into here and crawl up in between these things and stuff like that, like, trying to figure out, like, the most detailed movement that I can in a world of like polygons, and like just not even dealing with like capsule colliders and raycasts and things like that, just like getting the raw triangles and computing things like walkable and grabbable surfaces. And it would be a simple, otherwise it would be a trivial level-based game. You load into levels, and they are just single meshes, or like single like GLTF files, since I have an importer for those already coded up for OpenGL. And it just loads them up, and then you get from one point to another. You get from point A to point B, and like it has like a local Like, it keeps track of your best time, and there's no networking, no real physics, no, like, rigid bodies. And the graphics would be just very simple. It's like maybe some sort of, like, crude or very basic PBR, like maybe with just, like, the textures and the normal maps. Well, I guess I'd do all the maps if I do PBR. Maybe even just a simple, like, you know, like source engine style Phong shading. And if I can figure out how to use Blender's baked lighting, I would just do that. Like, compile it in Blender, render it to a texture, bring that texture in and load it there. And I basically have everything that I need for that already, except for the actual, like, complicated part, which is the gameplay, which, like, I would have to make it the exact same way in any other engine, but then I don't have to deal with all the bullshit of, like, trying to figure out what parts of the engine are actually safe to use. Like, we have multi-threaded rendering support. It just, you know, crashes pretty regularly, actually. You know, like, once out of every, like, 3 runs of your game will end in a crash. Because for some reason, even though objects aren't thread safe, we delete them in multiple threads. Why are there even signals on a mouse input? Like, why is there even signals on a input event mouse button? Like, what kind of psychopath was like, we need to connect signals to this thing? Because if you're connecting signals to a mouse button, you might as well make the mouse button event global, because there's 2 mouse buttons that you can press. Like, there's like 5 events that could ever exist for it, so you might as well just use the same ones over again and re-trigger the signals. Okay, but what is this? Is this the 3rd attempt? Alright, I think that's the great celebration. You know, we have all the people in the world, you know, the weight of the world chanting for us because I finally fixed the game. It sometimes doesn't crash. You know, I mean, I'm sure there's still dozens of places well, I'm sure there's innumerable places in my code and in Godot's code where this game can still crash, especially on different machines. But at least the most common and most persistent crash has been defeated by just completely removing any performance upgrades for loading the game. You know, I guess just don't load stuff. It's that simple. Just load it all in one thread and don't load a lot of it. Maybe what I could do for, like, big things like baked lighting, I could load, or I could mark it specially somewhere as an asynchronous thing, and then just add that code into Godot to, like, load resources, like the raw data, from a separate thread, and have, like, placeholder data instead for a little bit. You know, like, maybe it just allocates the size of the texture that's written down, and then it gets the bytes in the separate thread and then swaps them in real fast. But I don't know. I bet the allocator isn't even thread safe, if nothing else is. Because, like, also, because I'm pretty sure the resources are objects. And if everything has signals, like if even input events have signals, then probably resources have signals as well. Let's see if I can load the game and it crashes. seemed mostly successful. Okay, crashed again. So we will say the bug is not fixed. Or I guess I'll say the free crash seems to be fixed. The startup crash. And I'm pretty sure it's unref though, like it's from reference counting, so an object will just go out of scope and then, well, it's time to free it. And so I have to figure out how to not do that. See, and this is why you need manual memory management. Reference counting? No way. We need tracing, we need either tracing, garbage collection, or completely manual memory management. Because now I have to like juggle multiple objects and multiple threads and probably figure out a way of keeping references to any object that's reference counted in the main thread and then freeing them. Well, what can I do? I guess I could add things to a queue in the, actually, that'd be interesting. So if okay. I think that would help, and then for okay, that would be pretty good. Because then I don't have to worry about, like, a more complicated system. I can just hijack the reference type to queue things properly, because it's like, that'd be fine. Okay, startup crash. I know. Set Visual Studio to start the editor playing the game. I mean, at least it has the decency to not let me play it before it crashes. So let's say give up on multi-threaded loading once again. Alright, so tune in next time where I mean, if you could see my face, you would see that I'm shrugging. See you later.